Hey everyone, Dart here, and today I want to talk about an issue with the Honkai Star Rail DPS character release schedule. Primarily, I'm going to be comparing our two current primary DPSs to characters like Argenti and Dr. Ratio, who we know are coming within the next few updates. So let's take a look at our two primary characters first. Danghang Imbibitor Lunae is a DPS who focuses on multi-target hits with a lot of multi-hit attacks with his ultimate and skill. He requires 3 skill points to activate the max level of his skill, so sacrificing skill points for the sake of damage. Jingliu is a character who sacrifices her team's health for the sake of damage. She requires 2 special ability casts to activate her special mode, in which case every attack hits 3 people, 3 enemies instead of 1, and requires your team's health. Now, both of these characters are able to put out very impressive damage and can fit into many teams. Danheng can be built pretty much with any debuffer, buffer plus healer. Jingliu can be built with pretty much any debuffer, buffer plus healer, same as Danheng. Danheng really likes Lucha because Lucha helps him save skill points. Jingliu can be built with any healer really, but she does want Pella on her team, as Pella helps her with ice debuffs, mostly if you have her, I believe it's C4, yeah, ice resist down. Yes, there's characters these characters like more, like Danheng likes Welt a lot because Welt can imprison with his ultimate without breaking, etc. But you can really fit them into any team and they will function exceptionally well. This is not the case for upcoming characters like Argenti. Argenti, who's going to be released in the next few days, is a physical DPS who's going to be focusing on doing most of his damage with his ultimate. The way Argenti's kit works is that he has a skill which doesn't do a lot of damage, and he has 2 levels of his ultimate, one at 80 power and the other one at 180. The first ultimate level just does a bit more damage than his skill, so it's pretty much useless. However, the final ultimate level has an overall damage multiplier of 850%, which is the highest in the game. There is an issue, however, and that is the 180 power cap. That means you are pretty much required to run Argenti with Huohuo and Tsingyun, who recover energy based on percentage rather than point. This does help him a lot, but that means you're already locked in to 2 out of 3 characters you can run with him. The third character is going to have to be a debuffer like Silverwolf, who's now useless because you're running 4 different elements if you run Silverwolf, or Pella, who does debuffs for AoE, which is somewhat helpful for him if you can get her ultimate timed as his. But Pella's debuffs are not as viable as Silverwolf's, so there's also that. That means you're pretty much locked into 2 teams if you want to run Argenti, making him extremely inflexible, unlike Danheng Yel and Jingliu. This leads me to a next point, is that Dr. Ratio, who we don't know much about right now, is said to be a follow-up attack-based DPS. As we know from the past, like Clara and Himiko and Topaz, follow-up attack DPSs don't do very great, as follow-up attacks in general are weaker and require some sort of gimmick to proc compared to non-follow-up attack, just pure damage dealers like DHL and Jingliu. This means that that Dr. Ratio is also going to be an underwhelming DPS, which is really unfortunate because since Jingliu's release, we haven't had a single DPS who's actually capable of matching either one of these two. We had Topaz, who is, again, a buffer for follow-up attacks, but even with her help, follow-up attackers are really not doing that great. Another character who I don't have, who is also considered a DPS, is Kafka, who is an enabler for DOT teams. However, I don't think she's even worthy of a mention, as Kafka is now falling into B tier with her teams just because she's not able to put out enough damage, and we don't really have enough viable DOT damage dealers who are not just utility units like Sampo or Luca or Gunaifen, leaving Kafka kind of in the dust and somewhat useless. Another DPS who we did have released before these two is Blade, who is still not outmatched since he scales with HP, and you can get a lot more HP than attack on your characters. His teams do require to be a bit more tailor-made for him. However, you can really fit him into a lot of teams, including Jingliu teams as a support DPS. All he needs is really a healer and some sort of way to give him speed with their Asta or Bronya, because Blade is just a very slow character. And you will want to build him with HP, because building Blade with speed sacrifices too much of his attack and too much of his tankiness. But again, characters like Blade are already by default able to put out more damage than characters like Argenti are going to be able to. My personal recommendation is to not pull on DPS units if you have any two of these three. If you have these two, definitely don't pull on any DPS units for a while. Focus your gems on supporting units, like Ho-Ho, for example, who is an incredible energy support and a very good healer. I believe she can heal for the... No, Lochi can heal for the most with one hit, but since Ho-Ho heals 3 people at once, she can heal the most in one cast, I believe. She can also regenerate energy and give attack boost, which is very, very helpful. Mei is coming as well. I can't really say if she's going to be as good as Ho-Ho, in my personal opinion. I think she's going to be close to Bronya in utility, but I don't think she'll outmatch Bronya, as Bronya's biggest benefit is her being able to boost up someone and let them act right after her. I believe Mei is going to be closer to someone like Asta, giving energy regen and giving speed and giving damage bonuses, I believe. I may be wrong on that, but I believe that is around how her kit works. Long story short, save your gems, don't pull on DPSs if you have these two. Pull on these two and Blade if their banners ever rerun. But any upcoming DPS, both Dr. Ratio and Argenti, I don't think will be worth the Primo gems. Unfortunately, as I was actually really excited for Ratio, he really does not seem to be, nor him nor Argenti seem to be a very viable units. Again, things might change. Not for Argenti. Argenti I don't think will be good either way. It's probably going to be around A to B tier, depending on how the memory stages look. And we didn't really know the exact percentages for damage with Ratio, but my guess, he's not going to be great. If you have Topaz, maybe consider him, but I don't really see a use case for an imaginary unit is anything other than a mono imaginary team, as mono teams seem to be the overall meta right now and will keep being the meta for a while. Actually, now that I think about it, Mei will be very useful in one place, as she is an ice unit. She's going to be exceptionally useful to finish the mono ice team for Jingliu. One thing that I do really hope for, and that I recommend everyone look out for in upcoming characters, is another character like Silverwolf who's able to inflict weakness. Characters like Silverwolf, I don't think we're going to get another one for a while, but there's a reason Silverwolf is considered the best debuffer, and that is purely for the ability to make someone weak to another element. If you get another character similar to her, that would be ideal. So if there's another character like that comes out in the future, definitely pull for that. But when it comes down to DPSs, there's absolutely no point pulling on anyone other than these two. And I don't think there will be for a while. So unless there's plenty of wife over meta pullers, and I get that, or husband over meta, whatever. Uh, but when it comes down to meta, I believe Hoyoverse made a mistake releasing these two characters so early and making them so powerful, as anyone who's pulling purely for the gameplay purposes is not going to be interested in pulling damage dealers anytime soon. Anyway, that was it. Please like and subscribe to the video. Let me know what you think about this situation, and if I am wrong, also let me know. This was Dart, signing off.